Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You can see Don coming into the commentary booth. We are ready for the second race where it all began for Aquila here in Sweden. Don, the first ever Aquila Formula 1000 race in Sweden was held here at Mantorp Park. We've got the start grid at the moment, forming up. Kevin Sørensen, after he won yesterday's race, will start on pole position. Andreas Skottebo will start in second. Victor Carlson in third. Don, that is our top three for today. Yesterday we went 5 wide into Mjölby, the corner all the way at the end of the track. Are we expecting the same today?
I'm sure we will at some point see them 3, 4, 5 wide up there, because the slipstreaming here is tremendous and they are enjoying it.
They were enjoying it yesterday for sure. I spoke to some of the drivers after the race, and they have never had something like that happen to them before. 5 wide into a corner. A lot of rookies here in the field today. That's the case for them today as well. We're waiting for the starting grid. They're getting lined up like they did yesterday as well. Matteo Bode at the end of the grid, together with Williamson as well. We're waiting for the red lights to come on. It's just a couple more seconds to go until the 5-second board goes out.
There's a 5-second board.
There it is, the 5-second board. Now it's waiting until we get underway and until the 5 red lights come on. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4 and 5. It's lights out, we're underway for the second race here of the Aquila Formula 1000. And it's a good start for Kevin Sørensen. The top 3 are well away at the front, single file. Behind them, it's Oscar Melstig trying to find his way through on Kevin Riedel. But so far, once again, Don, we seem to have had a clean start.
Yes, that's nice to see, because some of them It's actually their second start of their career where they have a standing start in race car.
Also, an interesting one to look out for is Richard Olsen, and of course behind that as well, Alice Gustafsson. They were
Yes,
quick in the race yesterday, done. They're going to try and make their way through. We're on to the back straight now, where the slipstreaming is also important.
and we can already see now that Scatterbo had a slipstream on Kevin, and he will overtake him on the end of the straight. And yesterday we also had Alex and Richard. They got a penalty for jump starting, so that's why they didn't finish in top three. So now they have to overtake a lot of cars today.
It's going to give us a great race, though, Don Sørensen. Well, the thing for me is Kevin hasn't been overtaken yet. He knows what to do from yesterday. Andreas has a look up the insides of the right-hander. Isn't quite far enough alongside the sides to pull out of that move. That might be the smarter decision. All these three drivers now, there are some young guns moving the field. Oscar Milstein trying to make his way through. Kevin Riddell, of course, new here as well. So he's doing a really good job.
Yeah, and you saw yesterday both Kevin Riddell and Oscar Melstig was in the train of I think it was 8 cars all the way through the race, and I can see now Olsen is already starting to progress.
He is. He's just overtaken Carl Svensson. Oscar Melstig ahead of that. At the moment, I can't see on the live timing Alice Gustafsson. However, I did see him on the track, and he was clearly ahead of Richard Olsen. So I have a feeling he was in P7 coming through the checkered flag, or through the checkered flag through the first lap. But I can't see him on the live timing at the moment. So I'll have to see what's going on there. He's behind Oscar Melstig at the moment.
He's seventh, and he is going to overtake Oscar in the end of the straight here.
We're going to have a look. Here we go. This is the corner. We didn't have a camera yesterday. Up the inside goes Kevin Sørensen. Once again defending that position. Those two at the front, fighting hammer and top. But this is great to see at the front of the field. We had a bit of a closer train yesterday. Might this give the top two, top three maybe done a chance to break away?
As long as they're fighting, they won't break away, because then the guys from behind will use a slipstream to close this gap. I think in the next 3-4 laps we'll see the cars coming together again.
There, you shot, you can see at the moment, if I count the cars when they come past start finish, well, he's at P6, so not too bad. He's behind Kevin Riddell at the moment, and he's already closing that gap. It's dragging Richard Olsen with him. It's Louise Larsen also doing a good job. She is just overtaken Pete Norbach. So at the moment, she's in P10. Christian Lovin ahead of her. Carl Svensson in 8th. He had a great race yesterday. Carl Svensson went all the way up to P6. He said he would be happy if he would be able to keep that P6 done. At the moment, he's dropped back to P8.
Yeah, but we also have Lovin, for example. He had problems yesterday. He started far back and went quite high up in the field, and then ended up back again. They had some clutch problems. I know they have swapped the clutch this night, during the night.
It's not the first time that Lovin has had problems with the car either. He was he was haunted by it the whole of last year. Kevin Sørensen still at the front of the field. You know Kevin the best of us too. Has he done anything last night to try and prepare for the slipstream race that it would be today?
No, he's so used to it, and he's actually coached for quite a lot of the drivers here. So he sees at the bonus that today they won't make the mistake they did yesterday, which made it quite easy for him with his experience to take the win. He for sure will have to work harder today, and he enjoys it.
That's great to hear. Down the start-finish straight we come once again. Victor Carlson has caught up to the two at the front. There's Kontebo maybe deciding to try and stick behind to try and open up that gap. The trio behind that of Andreas Scott, of Alex Gustafsson, and
Alex Gustafsson still doesn't have any. We can't see him on the.
Yeah, we can't. However,
we can tell you what position he has when they come on the straight here.
I have a feeling, because our timing at the moment says that Alexia Danielsson is in P4. That is indeed the case, coming on to the straight. So she's doing great. She had a bit of a problem with the car yesterday as well. Good to see that she's up there fighting today as well. She's just been overtaken, however, by Alice Gustafsson.
Yeah, which is now on 4th position.
Going down into Mjölby corner once again. Once again, Kevin Sørensen keeping the lead. Those two at the front not fighting nearly as hard as we've seen yesterday, Don.
No, I think they are trying to not fight, just to keep them in front of the pack. But I can see that.
I mean, I've just seen Alex Gustafsson, by the way, pop up on our timing screen, and at the moment it says that he's 19th.
And we know he's on 4th position.
Yes, so he's also a lap down, apparently, and all the rest. He hasn't done any laps yet, so maybe there could be some transponder issues for him.
I think
that would be a real bummer.
Yeah, I hope it's not because they forgot to put the transponder on.
No,
we will find out. Then we will have an angry teenager after the race.
He's dropping back as well as Alex Gustafsson. There might be some problems with the car. He's just dropped back all the way to Pete Norback, which is, I think, P9 done. Not ideal at all. Maybe he realizes himself as well that there's something wrong with the car. They can't see him on the live timing. Maybe his engineer has said something to him like, drop back, it's not worth. But this is not great to see, Don.
No, that's sad to see because he's such a talented young man that doing his first season in Formula 1000.
Oh, we have a car off. That might be Christian Lovin, actually. If I look at the livery of that car, that's all the way at the start of the straight left-hand side of our camera view at the moment. If the camera can turn a little bit to the left, you would see it. Kevin Sørensen at the moment still at the front of the field. Andreas Skottebø still in second. Victor Carlson in third. The top three, however, Don, they have indeed managed to break away a little bit.
No, they are still in the same distance from Kevin Rydell. And if Rydell can get some working together with Alexia Danielsson, they can close the gap, but they need to work together.
There's only 5 minutes left though, Don, so the time is trickling away for them to try and close that gap. Behind that as well, car has gone though from Christian Lovin, I think. So he has managed to get underway again. It seems like Ortemars have been able to remove him from the track so quickly we haven't even seen it. Alexia Danielsson at the moment still in P5. Richard Olsen now behind her. He is trying to make his way through the field. Also one to look out for. He was quick yesterday as well.
Yeah, I think he's actually one who is capable of winning the race if they can close the gap up to the trio in the front.
Maybe he will be the one to help Alexia Danielsson last time around. The 133.3, the 133.295 from Kevin Sørensen. So the pace at the front of the field actually not that much quicker, if anything, really, than the drivers behind that. So Kevin Rydell, Alexia Danielsson, and Richard Olsen, who's now overtaken Alexia Danielsson.
But he will be overtaken again because she has a good slipstream on him. And if they are clever, they just swap positions to use the slipstream to get extra speed.
I think we also just had a car off at the start-finish straight. And that is the number 22. That is Embla Larsen, who's gone off.
It's her first race ever. She had some technical problem yesterday and didn't manage to get to the start.
Great news though, if you're a fan of Alex Gustafsson. He has just gone up to P8 in the timing as well, so they have definitely put on a transponder, let's put it like that, Don. But the problems that they have earlier, or that they had earlier on in the race, seems to have been resolved as well. However, it's still a question to me why he dropped back, because it seems like he either made a mistake, went off somewhere, or he might have been told to drop back, which I think looks unlikely. P8 at the moment for Alex Gustafsson behind Oscar Melstig. Try and make his way through on him. That is an extra position gain for the next race start.
Yeah. The next race start will actually be the position, all the positions together.
Alex Gustafsson has just done the fastest lap time of the race, so that tells you how quick he actually is. 1:30 to 1:98. There will, of course, be some slipstream involved in that. He had that slipstream on Oscar Melstig, but I don't think if Oscar knows this, he will fight it too much. He's right behind him, coming onto the straight now, as you're going to see him pop into shot on the left-hand side of the screen very soon. There they are, already pulling alongside as Alex Gustafsson going into the final corner. This is the fight still for the top three. Kevin Sørensen still of Andreas Skottebo, Victor Carlson still in third. The top three so far done hasn't changed in this race. Are they trying to just pull away?
Yes, I think they on purpose are just settled with this position until the last lap.
And the last lap will come up to us soon. 2 minutes 20 to go. And the Larsen just went past the start finish, a 1:46 last time round for her. So it looks like there might be some problems with the car. Quickest lap for her was a 1:40.4. So she's quite some way off. The leaders are already coming through, almost a lapper done. That is concerning because that might bring some lap traffic into play. Kevin Sørensen is now going to have to play it smart though. 1:32, 1:96 or 1:08, still the fastest lap for Alex Gustafsson. This time he's coming over the line and he has passed Oscar Melstig. And the last time round, Alex Gustafsson with a 1:32.8. So you can see down how much
constant.
that picture gives you.
He's constant, quick. It's nice to see these young talents just going out there and getting full throttle.
Well, the pace at the front of the field is actually a 1:33.143, so quite a considerable margin faster as Alex Gustafsson. That tells you what he might have been able to do. Looking at the front of the field, Richard Olsen.
Richard Olsen has a slipstream on Kevin Rydell, and I think he will try to overtake. Yeah, he got to the inside up there.
This is happening just behind the top three. You're going to see him popping the shot now, and you can see that he has overtaken Richard Olsen. That is P4 for him now. Can he close that gap in done what is about 2 laps left now, maybe 3?
If they should close that, they have to work together. So Richard Olsen has to let Rydell pass him on the next time they are on the stop, but they use their slipstream.
It's trying to be redemption for some of these drivers here today after the penalty that they got yesterday. Richard Olsen and Alex Gustafsson.
And they will have 2 laps because it's 28 seconds left.
So that means another one after this one.
I think they can close the gap.
This is giving Richard Olsen together with Kevin Rydell a bit of time indeed to close that gap down. If we look further back in the field, Matteo Bode at the moment, he did a 1:37.042. So everyone in the field basically improving.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see now if Rydell and...
oh, the crash in the background! That's on the start-finish straight. You haven't seen this. There it is in the background. That's a massive crash. That's Christian Lefebvre, I think. That might be with Louise Larsen. My oh my, that was a hefty one. Christian Lefebvre is able to get going. Those two are in the same tent in the paddock. And I have a feeling that after that, they might not be too happy. I think it was Louise Larsen who got on to the gravel on the outside. And because of that, she lost traction. And well, car completely snapped away from her. It is indeed Louise Larsen. I can see that from the helmet.
She gets going now, but she has to be careful to the traffic coming.
Looking back at the front of the field, though, Kevin Sørensen still ahead of Andreas Skottebo. We did see Andreas trying to make a move going into Milbeck corner. That move wasn't called that move of. You can also see that Embla Larsen is getting out of the way very nicely.
Now we're going to the last lap, so this is now that we will see some fighting up in the front, for sure. On this coming on the straight now, we'll see them try to pass Kevin, and Kevin will. We'll see how smart Kevin will be.
We'll find out. I still can't see if Louise Larsen's gotten away from there.
Yeah, she has.
The white flag is out at the start-finish straight, which means that there's a slow-moving car on track. You can see her in the shot right now. Yeah. She's ahead of the leader. She has to make her way out of there. She has a very, very long straight to do so. This is not ideal for Kevin Sørensen, who gets held up by that. And that is not what he would have wanted. Definitely not. That's less than ideal. This gives Andreas Skottebo the perfect opportunity.
And Carlson will have 2 cars to slipstream. And they stay behind for now, and they have to go outside. Kevin will defend the inside line. And I think...
Here we go around the outside. Was Victor Carlson and Andreas Skottebo.
That
He
is
almost
actually
made
good
his
for
way
Kevin.
through. Yes, it is. There we can see the smoking car of Louise Larson coming into shot. She's still giving absolutely everything. So is Kevin Sørensen and Andreas Kotzebue at the front of the field. Will Andreas try and move up the inside? Kevin Sørensen will defend it. Will he take a double? There's Victor Carlson trying to make his way through to P2. That would be astonishing, but he doesn't quite manage to. Kevin Sørensen, it looks like, will take a double here at Mantorp. Coming through the final corner now. This is going to be important to run down to the line. And it's Kevin Sørensen who takes the double at Mantorp Park. A victory once again for the Dane. A great race from Andreas Kotzebue and Victor Carlson.
And you could see that Richard Olsen actually managed to close the gap together with Kevin Riedel. So if there was one more lap, then they could have done it.
I think they would have been right onto the back of them. Of course, they're fighting at the front of the field, slowing them down. You can see the last lap of them, 1:33.8, 1:32.6 for Richard Olsen. So yeah, that was quite some margin there. But what a race we've seen once again. Drama at the end with Louise Larson and Christian Love. Let's hope that everything there is okay. We could see that the front left fender on Louise Larson, her car was properly damaged. But let's hope that everything is okay. The atmosphere in that tent, I can imagine, Don, won't be the happiest.
They don't need a heater in there.
I don't think so either.
And now they are coming up the straight, celebrating and saying thank you to each other, as the true sportsmen they are.
That's great to see. Also, something actually which I want to point out here, Don, is something that we at Aquila promote as well, and that you have promoted them with as well and told them to do, is thank the marshals for every race you do. Because, of course, without any of these great volunteers out here, we basically wouldn't have been able to do what we do right now.
We would be out of work. Yeah.
So
thank you to those guys out there.
Well, that was the race.
And actually, Alexia Danielson had a good race also, ended up 6th. And the starting position we'll have to calculate, because that is how many points you have made until now in the time session and the two first races.
I think, Don, I think
Kevin
we know
will
who's going to start on pole position,
yeah.
don't
But
we?
the second and third place, I'm not sure.
No,
maybe Andreas Skattebo and Victor Carlson as it stands there, because they also had good positions in the first race, but not so good in the
top three is unchanged from race 1 to race 2. So I have a feeling that those might start on the front row and third as well. Let's have a look then at the results of that race, because that was quite an amazing one. The result is coming up for you in just a couple of seconds, Don. At the moment, I would say keep an eye on that third race. The slipstreaming wasn't quite as effective as we had seen previously in race 1, but I think still we've seen an amazing race.
And it was because the three in the top had decided not to fight each other before the last lap as a strategy to keep the gap.
So once again, that's experience really showing through. Yesterday we had two rookies at the front of the field. We had Richard Olsen, we had Alex Gustafsson at the front of the field, together with actually a very, almost a veteran in these cars. He's seen these cars grow up, Kevin Sørensen. So completely different thinking between those three drivers. And I think that's what maybe cost them yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. And Kevin's big advantage is he was the first ever driving a Synergy, which is the name on the car. He was 14 years old then when we made it the first time. So he was helping to test the car out in the winter in Denmark, and have done every season since. So he's the most experienced driver out there, and we keep him in this category because he is learning the youngsters to be really, really good, sharp racing drivers.
And of course, he himself is a great racing driver as well, as you can see by the fact that he's won twice now. We can go over the result, even though it's not shown on screen. It's Kevin Sørensen who has won ahead of Andreas Kotzebue in second, Victor Carlson in third, Richard Olsen in fourth, Kevin Riedel in fifth, Alexia Danielsson with a good race in sixth, Alex Gustafsson managing to make his way up to seventh, eighth for Oscar Melstick, Carl Svensson in ninth, dropping down to P9 after he started in P6. Pete Norback in 10th, 11th for Fredrik Lindholm, 12th for Christian Love, William Isaacson in P13, Johan Valand in 14th, 15th for Matteo Bode, Lionel Skar in P16, P17 for Emla Larsen, Louise Larsen, after that puncture that she had. That was a close one at the line, actually. 7/10 only behind Embla Larsen in P18. And Jonathan Ölander, well, I
He's
think
missing
he
a couple of
retired.
laps.
Yes, I think he retired after about 3 laps. He was in the pit lane. I think he had some problems with the car. That's the result for now. We have the race later on today. So come back at around 14:30 local time when we start our broadcast for race number 3 in the last race of the Akita Formula 1000. Until then, stay safe. We'll see you there then.
Bye
Goodbye.
bye.